All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Coach, it's a new season upon us. Playoff time. It comes down to this 4-5 matchup Friday night, hosting the game at Toscano versus Providence. Just want to get your thoughts heading into that quarterfinal matchup.
Yeah, well, certainly excited to be hosting here at Toscano for the quarterfinals. We know we've got a really formidable opponent in Providence. We've played them got about a month ago, and they got the better of us in that weekend series. They were both two hard-fought games, and I think both our teams are very similar. And compete hard, good goaltending. Uh, Machu and Conley didn't play for them that weekend. So I think that will only strengthen their club, having those two back. So we know it's going to be a really hard fought game come Friday night.
Awesome. All right, we'll open up for questions. Who wants to start us off? Don't jump all at once, guys. Go ahead, Andrew.
Hey Cav, you'd mentioned a few weeks back how you were talking about scheduling, how it would be great to have this 4-5 matchup on a Friday night. Just,
Yeah.
I guess, just how did that come about? Was that something that had been planned, or I guess just how glad are you that you guys get to kick things off on Friday?
Well, it happened organically last year, Andrew, with the women's tournament because there was a conflict with one of the arenas. So they played the 4-5 game on Friday. And I remember going down the convention last year saying, we should do the same thing. Those two teams know who they're playing. And there's no reason why we can't play that game Friday or have to wait till Saturday. We'll have plenty of time of rest to play the game. And the thing is, it gives us more exposure for the league. So instead of people trying to watch four games, in one day, at least now you're going to get more people can watch that game Friday, and it gives you bigger windows on Saturday to spread the games out, I think. So you can get multiple eyes on our product. So yeah, to answer your question, I'm happy we're playing. I think it's great.
Adam, go ahead.
All right. So thinking of the way that the season ended and knowing that especially those last three games were games that I think on paper you can say, okay, UConn should have won. What did you take away from the way that your team showed up, executed, and got those full 9 points?
I think we played well, maybe not so well up in Vermont. I thought we had some great goaltending and some timely scoring. But that being said, it has zero impact on what's going to happen Friday night. I've been around too long and I've coached some really good teams. I've been the number one seed in this tournament and have lost to the eighth seed after going on a roll. It does not matter one bit what happened over the last three games when it comes to Friday. I know that for a fact.
And in terms of the top line, and I know that we've talked about them a bunch, but entering postseason play, what do you like most about what those three guys are doing?
I like what most about our team is that if they don't score, we still have a good chance to win, I feel, because we have some balanced scoring with all our other lines. So uh, I like the fact that they don't have that type of pressure on them when we're playing games because we have so much confidence in the other players on our team. And I think that helps them play a little more. Uh, they can be a little play more free, so to speak, where they don't have to feel that type of pressure that if we don't score, we don't have a chance to win.
Thanks, Coach.
Joe, go ahead.
Thanks, Colin. Cav, what did you do against Providence in the first two meetings that you've got to do even better on Friday night?
Oh, I think, well, I mean, we got one tie out of the two games, so there's a lot we can do better. I just think, when you play Providence, it's always going to come down to, I think, special teams. Our discipline for sure has to be better. We took a 5-minute major in that game at home that Providence scored on to give them the go-ahead goal. So I think our after the whistle discipline has to be, there is no room for error there. And when you're in the playoffs, that can end your season. So I think that's an area where we've got to make sure that we've tightened up. I think, as always, when you're playing in playoff games, or any game for that matter, you better manage the puck to the neutral zone, because if you turn it over there, you're giving good teams an opportunity to hurt you. And the one thing I love about this quarterfinal game is that, we're both so highly ranked. I think that it's I just think it makes it a lot more fun, and it's just, I think it's going to be a great hockey game. I do. I really respect the way Nate prepares his teams. He's a seasoned coach. He's won at a lot of different levels. And I know that coming into that game Friday, we're going to get Providence's best.
Thanks, Scaff.
Anyone else? Go ahead, Adam.
When you talk about the discipline, and on one of the coaches shows, we had talked about the needing to cut back on those 5-minute majors. And I think from that point on, the team is that your perspective as well, that they have been a little more disciplined since whatever game it was where you kind of had that moment where you said, this has to stop?
Yeah, no, I think that it has. And for the most part, we were disciplined, for most of the year. I can't say, I think our penalty minutes were down quite a bit from last year. So from that standpoint, I give our kids a lot of credit. But when you're in a playoff game and, the stakes are higher and the tension is higher, there's at times it creates confrontations and after the whistle confrontations. And those are the things that you really have to mentally be strong enough to avoid.
It felt like you almost said this when kind of talking about Providence and the matchup, but does this allow, with obviously Providence semifinal championship, that the NCAA tournament is already locked in? And I know that's something you've talked about. Does that take some of the pressure off and just allow this game to be for you guys just to go out there and play this game?
I think probably to some extent. I think that's the case. We've never been in this position before. We've always had to win the tournament to get in. In my previous years that we were in the NCAA tournament playing this, it was so long ago that I can't remember how the team felt. So I'm not sure. I know our kids listen, we know we're in the NCAA tournament, and that's great. But we also want to win a Hockey East championship. And I know that throughout my career, the hardest game to win a lot of times is the first one. Because when you get to the Garden, that's just excitement, and it's almost like the cherry on top. When you are trying to get there, a lot of times that's the hardest game to win.
Thank you.
We got anything else for Coach, guys? Awesome. Well, thanks everyone. Coach, thank you. Good luck this weekend.